Welcome to the Scottish Interior Podcast. I'm Declan, a social media manager with a passion for interiors.
And I'm Michele, an interior designer with my own company called Interiors45.
Together, we're here to chat all things Scottish interiors, design trends, styling tips, and the projects that keep us busy. Now, let's get into today's episode. And we are back for episode 6 of the Scottish Interior Podcast, Michele. Episode 6.
Here we are again.
What are we all about? And I'm back from New York as well.
I know. I've missed you so much.
I bet you have missed me.
I did miss you.
Rylan and Ruth are back. Here we are.
Here we are.
So today we are joined by the brilliant Charlotte from Tayford Transformation, a CEO, a mum of 2, and currently knee-deep in a renovation of a breathtaking Victorian mansion, all while actually living in it. But here's the twist. I also run Charlotte's social media, documenting every step of the transformation. And if you've ever wondered how someone even goes about buying £1 million house, we're getting into that too. Plus, a real-life client of our very own Michele. Charlotte has the inside scoop of working with an interior designer and bringing her vision to life. So without further ado, Charlotte, welcome to the Scottish Interior Podcast.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you.
Yeah, I'm also stuck to Charlotte like glue. Like I am to you.
We live in Charlotte's pocket pretty much.
We were almost living in Charlotte's mansion.
Yes. Well, there's plenty of room.
There is plenty of room.
There's plenty of room. And it's to spec too. Like,
yes.
It's acceptable.
Absolutely.
Or some of it.
So let's just get down to the nitty-gritty, Charlotte. Buying £1 million house. Tell us how, why?
So we never planned it. We didn't plan it at all. We picked a school for our children and then decided we obviously needed to live in the area because it was too far away from where we were staying. And the housing market, I presume, is still the same today as it was a year ago. It is crazy. And the biggest thing we were coming up against was overvalue costs. So actually, when we were looking at the properties and then doing a comparison, and then we saw this, that we could get at value or even slightly under value, and it worked out exactly the same of cost that we had to be out of pocket. Did we do all our research on what the renovation costs are going to be? Absolutely not. So at the time, it seemed really reasonable to go in there and go. And I mean, don't get me wrong, to get a house at that level was a lot of hard work through our other businesses. But yeah, here we are today, 1 year on.
And how have you found it, Michele?
It is, for me, it's amazing because it's a dream project. You want like a project like this that you can see from start to finish and transform. I mean, the bones of it is absolutely stunning. Everybody that's seen it on socials that have been in to see the house, it's just like the wood panelling, the cornice, all of that stuff is just insane. The size of the rooms it has.
It's the size of the ceilings.
Yeah. A drawing room,
the height of the ceiling,
a ballroom, which is my favourite. When I first went into the ballroom, Charlotte and I nearly parted ways because she said, "I'd like this to be a playroom," and I was like, "I am not making this into a playroom." At that point in time, I think there was a bouncy castle in it. Maybe
it is still the bouncy castle.
The bouncy castle still lives there.
Yeah. Michele's absolutely right. That's one absolute blessing about this house. And when we first went to view it, the estate agent, bless him, actually said to us, "This house is going to break a marriage."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh, game on. Like, we can do this." But the thing is, the cornicing, the detail, the stained glass windows, the baby heads and the gargoyles on the walls are very, very much intact. I mean, it's a listed building.
Yeah.
That in itself comes with its own hurdles and challenges that we need to jump. But like you say, the bones of it are incredible.
Yeah.
Well, once the stonework was done too.
I know you said it was about the money and the cost and that's what you could afford and etc. But did you fall in love with it before you bought it? Did you fall in love with it after it? Are you still in love with it?
When we walked into it, I think there's two different types of people in this planet. There's people that can walk in and visualize, and there's people that walk in and see a mess. We wasn't walking, I mean, when the day we got the keys, it was 7 degrees inside. I thought I'd made the biggest mistake of my life because I am the coldest person in the planet. But being able to go in and see what we can create and know how beautiful it was going to turn out was really exciting. Also knowing that it was a challenge that not many people were willing to take on. Yeah. Very competitive people are Joel and I. So I think that was a big part in it. There's definitely been ups and downs. There's definitely been ups and downs. Some days I feel blessed to be able to say, this is my house, this is my home. We're doing this, we're showing the children what hard work looks like. That's a huge part of our life ethos. And there's some days when you need an umbrella on the inside because the rain is coming in through the ceiling.
Yep.
Yeah. And you
have mice on your sofa.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You have a friend that's very kindly looking after your children for you, and you get a, there's a mouse in your house. And then you come back and you think you've trapped the mouse in a room. Mouses don't need space to get out of a room.
Mouses, batsies, bazies, mouses.
They do not need space. So then
we actually spoke on a previous episode, Charlotte, the spider.
The spider.
The spider you said in the group chat. That's made its own appearance in a previous ep.
But this was like Australian spider. Oh. This wasn't like Scotland spider.
No.
So I think it has been peaks and troughs. Do I love it today? Not really. Did I love it yesterday? I did love it yesterday. And it really does go like that. Yeah. There are days where budgets and financial constraints just... Today is one of those days where I'm like, so are we going to make it?
We're all in agreement. It is a big project. Do you think it's too big of a project?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no because of us as people.
Yeah.
I think it's probably too big a project for anybody that isn't extremely driven, extremely ambitious, and is in a very secure marriage, because we argue a lot.
I can agree. You do.
Every single choice can be an argument. We're arguing at the moment about curtains because Joel doesn't understand finish.
Joel thinks we can go to the high street and buy a pair of curtains and hang them to the windowsill on a house that will be valued at over £2 million.
Yeah.
We just can't. And then he'll say to me, Michelle, beds, curtains, all these kind of things. I mean, how does it cost this much for a bed? Yeah. I'm like, Joel, that's just what it costs. And he's like, then he backs down when it's me.
Absolutely. I put Michelle in the firing line. We come out of the group chat and into the personal chat. And then Michelle comes into the group chat and issue is resolved. When you have 3.5, 4 meter ceilings, everything is huge.
Yep.
So... yeah, I would say it's a ginormous challenge. I would say I don't know if I'd want to enter another one right now. I would say it's arguably more challenging than like a new build because it's a listed building. We submitted our planning in May and I still don't have it back and we're in March.
And we're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tyrrell's Home Furnishings.
With over 90 years of experience, Tyrrell's specialise in all things home furnishings, from flooring and carpets to upholstery, living, bedroom and dining furniture. Their commitment to quality, value and exceptional service has made them a trusted name in the industry.
A huge thank you to Tyrrell's Home Furnishings for supporting the podcast, bringing style, comfort and inspiration to homes across Scotland.
Oh yeah, so and now we're in March, we still don't have the planning, so... we can't take down walls that we wanted to take down walls from. The reason that we have the leaky ceiling is because we can't complete the roof. So But then again, ask me again in 12 months' time when this project is finished and
Yeah.
we'll maybe want the next one. So, yeah, not for the faint-hearted.
What? So you've said that you and Joel, strong marriage. You're both determined, both competitive, both driven. I can absolutely agree to all of those things. And there are two wee small humans that also live in this house who I think at the beginning thought it was fun. Maybe understanding that it's not so much fun now for them. However, they've got two beautiful rooms. And they're just about to take a playroom away from them. So we have all these bedrooms and I'm like, nope, they can't have that. Nope, they can't have that. They can have the loft.
Yeah, exactly.
But from your perspective, I guess a lot of people fear having an interior designer. You have got good ideas. You do know your own mind. You do know what you want, how you want it to look and feel. So why then did you want the help of somebody?
We don't intend on staying in this house forever. And we need the house to appeal to the mass market at a level that I never even thought that I would enter into as a person. Joel and I haven't come from money in a background. We don't have strong leading business owning parents or anything like that. So as much as I know what I like, it doesn't necessarily mean I know what somebody that's going to want to buy a £2 million house will buy. And that was a crucial element to me is I can project manage. I can quite happily go to the shop and buy all the wrong things.
Yes.
But I think it was crucial for me to have somebody totally from the outside that understood the budget, understood the concept, understand exactly where we were going and be able to come in and initiate that and mediate between Joel and I too. Yep. And we really, really are seeing that come together. So there's certain areas where you've allowed us to be a bit more personal, say in the children's bedrooms. And then there's areas where it's like, no, hold back on that because yes, that's beautiful and you love it, but it's not going to appeal to the masses. And then from a budget perspective, let's take the hallway floor, for example. Huge statement of the house. Yep. And at first we were like, yeah, we just want to put herringbone floor through the whole downstairs. And it was like, and that's where you came in and made a big change that actually.
Yeah, and I think the background to that is Joel and Charlotte own their own business and Joel's a carpenter to trade. Mm-hmm. So Joel could easily see that he could floor everything. But obviously there's original floors in the drawing room and the ballroom and they needed a bit of work, but Joel was just like, oh, let's just herringbone it. And I was like, no, we need to keep the like people when they're buying that kind of property want to see original features. And it's things like covering up fireplace and stuff, and I'm like, we have to we need to retain as much as possible, and this is where definitely I've been able to say hold back on that. This is what other people will think. And again, we've had some of the estate agents back to say what sells in this area, what will make this over a £2 million mark. He did advise us to put in a tennis court, but I don't know that we've got to that part yet. So we're on. We've got a few things done. We've got a couple of bedrooms. We've got the office done. There's a 2-bedroom flat attached to it, which we're really close to finishing. Guest bedroom next week.
You definitely kept us on brief with the flat as well.
Yeah.
I went into Michelle and was like, I'm thinking country bumpkin. And then I come back and I was like, I really like this wallpaper. And she's like, Charlotte, there is no jungle in the country. You cannot have jungle in the country. Goodbye wallpaper. Here's a nice floral. And what's going on the wall? The floral.
Even taking a step into like that front room, for instance, it's amazing how much of the original characters have truly been retained whilst adding that contemporary feel with the media wall. Like that's the thing I love about it. It looks spectacular and
it feels good. I think the thing about this house is because of the vastness of the property, it's really remembering that this is going to be a home. Yeah. There were so many options with this property. Almost everybody that I speak to says, are you turning it into flats? Are you going to make it into a wedding venue? It could be deemed a corporate building. So things like the living room, it really is now such a cozy warmth. Step away and shut the doors, shut the curtains, and you could be anywhere and really feel at home. So it's about appealing to that mass market while making it really homely and welcoming.
Yep.
And that's where Michele has massively come into play, because that's not an easy feat in this building.
Yeah. But I think, to reiterate to your point, like, people will still wonder, like, you've bought a house that's £1 million. How do we even think about buying a house that's £1 million? And I do have to back you up here.
Yeah.
Money is, you know what, the budget is there, and there is not an endless pot of money to spend on this renovation. It's not going to be these guys home forever. It will be resold at some point. So you're trying to, you know, keep it to appeal to everybody. But you obviously have to spend a certain amount of money to get it to a level of over £2 million. But I think people may think, oh, well, that's not relevant to us because we're never going to be able to buy £1 million house or have the budget to spend. But you guys do have to stick to budget. You do have to work. You do have to have your own business working hard
100%.
to do this. And sometimes there's a compromise between, does Joe work in the house or does he go and work in the business because we need the money? So it's still, yes, it may be on a bigger scale, but it's still relevant to people who might be doing it on a smaller scale.
And I mean, even if we step back into how do we get into property development, I mean, we certainly didn't go from a new build straight into this blind. During COVID, we obviously, like everybody else, was locked down, and it was during COVID that we were very careful of our money. And up here in Scotland at that moment in time, property was relatively good value for money. So we bought our first flat for £50,000. We bought a 1-bedroom flat. We renovated it ourselves. It cost between about 7,000, I think, that first one. And then it got valued at 80. We then mortgaged that, and we then pulled out everything that we put in and did it again and again, to the point where we then had a portfolio of a handful of properties that then gave us the experience and also that little bit more know-how. Would I go from day one straight into this? Absolutely not. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But the stepping stones and the milestones are exactly the same. You have a budget, you look at what's the most important, you get an interior designer and you say, right, what is going to sell this house? Is it really important that I buy super expensive carpet, or am I better buying a better value for money carpet and putting it into a sofa or curtains and having decent curtains? The house is cold, we have to have decent curtains so that on viewings we can say this and this. So it's bringing out those points that then became crucial with the budget. And we are on our final run, and we don't have any options after that.
I don't think we've worked with certain people for kitchens and bathrooms, and the first quote we got for the kitchen was £200,000 for the kitchen, and then so much of it was on sale, so it came down to 120, I think it was. And at this point there was one oven, and I was like, what? How is there one oven? Does the chef come with this kitchen? I'm like, wow. But having spoken to architects and various people and done some research, like, the kitchen is going to have to cost around about £90,000, etc., to be in the realms of where it should be for a £2 million house. But you look at all these things, you're now like analysing heated drawers and 2 dishwashers and 2 ovens and slide and hide doors and all these things, like every aspect of stuff like this. So for me, it's been great learning, because at that level of kitchen, it's a huge investment. And I think that is one of the things that, you know, the estate agents and stuff have told us. The kitchen for a 9-bedroom house has got to be substantial. It's got to be special. And
still have worktop to cook on. Like, it's phenomenal. Some of the designs that we've had, you look at it and you go, oh, beautiful, love it, let's buy it. And then you go down to it and you're like, actually,
There's no
I've got
workspace.
nowhere to cook.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful island and 4 people can sit at it, but I can't make them dinner.
Yeah.
So it's practicality as well.
And you're not starting from scratch. So you're talking about like building a house from new, and it's not that. So you can't magically put in a secret pantry cupboard because you can hide everything in there.
Yeah.
Because you're restricted because it's a listed building, you're restricted by planning. So you're then having to be told, right, you need to work around this space. You can't remove this paneling, you can't remove this fireplace, you can't. So you're restricted, but
You're
you need
totally
to try and
restricted
find the right thing.
And also with it being a listed building, it isn't as easy to ascertain the
Oh yeah, absolutely.
planning permission.
No, it's
that-
really not. Michelle rang me this morning and I was like, Michelle, I haven't slept. I'm really stressed. I could sit and cry right now over a curtain. I can't cope. And that is the first time that I've hit that, but I've hit it so hard.
Yeah.
Joel, on the other hand, has maybe hit it 7,
times.
8, 9, 10 times.
Meanwhile, he's like, Charlie, just head up the high street, buy a set of curtains, get them hung up in the pole.
That's what he's like. He's like, who cares if it's in sections? We'll just buy lots of sections of curtains and put them in. But
And just on that note of you going about who cares, that brings us to my next subject about sharing the journey across socials, Charlotte. Like, how are you feeling about that? Like, especially having kids, etc. Like, because we've spent a lot of time focusing on the incredible work that's been done in their rooms, and like any child would absolutely love to wake up in those rooms. They're just incredible. How are you feeling? Are you just feeling let's put it out there, let's show it?
Yes, I love the social media side, where at times it can be difficult in the designing times. I see Declan come in the floor in the door and I get my silly shoes on.
Yeah, I'm like walking in with my tripod like, here we go, Charlotte, let's go. Joel's like, I am away.
I know. And then there's the night that I'm like, right, Joel, we're going to do some filming. I need you to follow me around. And he was like, absolutely love it. I really love it because the feedback from people, like real people, is so important. And the social media and the way that you're doing the social media, I think it's really important that we're showing the transformation, but just the real life as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not all makeup and dresses, you know, like it's hoodies, it's joggers,
It's mice, it's spiders.
It's mice, it's spiders, it's walking in the house and after 5 minutes you're covered in dust. It's raining from the ceiling.
It's raining.
Yeah, so cold. And people's responses are important.
Totally.
When I get messages from people like, your office, I would literally die to have your office. It's stunning. I love it. And I'm like, it's all Michelle.
It's a good old office that she hasn't worked in as yet.
And obviously just recently we teased everybody because nobody knew about this 2-bedroom flat. And I was like adamant, no, well, we need to put it out at the right time. And there was so many people surprised.
Such a good reaction.
It was one of the best videos that we've done. And it was...
I got a message
from Homes Under the Hammer, by any chance?
No, I wish I'm available. I wish I was available. I say I'm available. I'm the busiest person.
Never seen anybody with like a diary of you in my life.
I had somebody message me last night, like, when's Homes Under the Hammer episode 2 coming? Like, I'm waiting for it.
Oh, it's coming.
So, like, people are asking for that now, and they really engaged. And do you know what? We have the house renovation, but we also have a multi-million-pound business. We do property development. We have a portfolio of properties that will need to be managed, and we have a 5 and a 6-year-old. So, the social media is definitely like my reprieve.
Reprieve.
It's my reprieve, and it's the way that it feels like this is true, this is honest, this is let go. Come see the real behind Tayford transformation.
And it's people want to see befores and afters, but sometimes the journey in between is not always documented. It's more of a here's what it was before, and then it's a click of the button, and here's how it's.
But actually that middle section has been
long,
the long-winded.
I wish she would share the video. I don't know that Joel will allow it, but she sent me a video of Joel running around the top landing in his pants, chasing a mouse, and it was the funniest video that
I
a client
love
has
that
ever
video.
sent me.
I
And
think
it
we
was
should. I think we should do it.
I'll schedule it tonight.
Yeah, do it. Do it. What's the worst that could happen?
so. Final question from me. Obviously, I know what order we're going in from the renovation point of view, but what's the next big reveal? Is it part 2 of the flat, or is it guest bedroom? What should we to show the world
I
next?
think we should showcase your favourite area of the house.
Which is
The orangery.
Oh, no.
that's a whole other
Right.
episode.
For everybody out there that doesn't know what an orangery is, because who the hell knows what an orangery is? To me, it's a tree.
Do you know what
a field of orange
I actually
trees.
googled this recently.
Yeah.
Because I was doing some caption research, and do you know what the definition was?
Fancy conservatory.
Pretty much, it was to showcase your. It was a statement of wealth back in the Victorian age which is now a conservatory.
I would like to make it into a gin spa. Yeah, if we could do that.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be fabulous. The problem with the orangery is, and don't get me wrong, when it's done, because it will be done, it will be glorious, and it will absolutely be one of the most impactful elements of the property. But it's been so neglected, and Glasgow is not fortunate with weather, and it's been beaten. So right now I've got broken glass panels that are really dirty, grime all over them, rust. We've had the entire house stone cleaned and repaired, and the rust is just running onto my nice clean stone. And quite honestly, who do you contact for orangery repairs?
Not in my remit.
My favourite part of the podcast, the quick fire round. Okay, Charlotte, you're in the hot seat today. So we're going to ask you a series of questions. We need one-word answers. Let us know the answer to. So you're going to restore original features or add modern touches?
Both.
Yeah, Michelle chose these ones today. Ornate cornicing or simple coving?
Ornate cornicing all day, every day.
Traditional wallpaper or painted walls?
It really depends on the space. Downstairs toilet, wallpaper.
Yeah, I agree. Grand chandelier or statement wall sconces?
Sconces.
Wall lights. I think in Charlotte, in this Victorian mansion, we need both. To be fair,
It is
Totally.
I can answer that for you.
Yeah.
She needs both.
This is going to be
added to the budget.
original wooden floors or luxurious carpet?
Both. Carpets upstairs, wooden floors downstairs. Definitely not carpet downstairs.
Well, how about this one? Modern walk-in shower or roll-top bath?
Walk-in shower.
Velvet drapes or curtains?
Curtains.
Period accurate colours or modern colour palette?
I don't know. That's Michelle's question.
Monochrome.
Yeah, with that,
I would have went the latter also.
Yeah.
And this is a good one. Formal dining room or open plan living?
Open plan living all day, every day. It's particularly if you've got
Totally. It
children.
resonates back to what you were saying earlier, like how the kitchen's the hub as well. And I think as generations have been on, that is ultimately it in a nutshell.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
You didn't ask about the kids living in the house. You started asking and then went on to something else. Do you want to mention that? Because I feel like that's something more people will resonate with.
Yeah.
If you guys want to tune into Charlotte's journey, you can give her a follow on Instagram and TikTok at Tafer Transformation.
Please do.
And likewise, give us a little follow on socials. We're at Scottish Interior. You can download the podcast on YouTube and Spotify.
Yes. Thank you so much. It was
Thank
lovely to
you.
see you. Not in Tiford House.